So today we're doing an install on a bidet, and it's not a bidet seat because it doesn't come with a seat, but it's also not electric. It just uses water. So I'm looking forward to checking this out, seeing how it actually works compared to all the electric bidet seats that I've done over the years. So without further ado, let's see how it comes unboxed. Let's get it installed. Okay folks, welcome back to GeekSmart, and like I said, today we are unboxing and setting up the Luxe Bidet seat. Now this is the Neo 185 series. Let's see how this guy comes. Alright, so they do want you to register it and then install with video guide. Oh, it looks like they do have a video guide, so you can actually watch an install video on it. Other than this one if you wanted to, and then contact them for help. So let's see here. They have a little travel potty or toiletry bag for you. All right, that's kind of a neat little gift. We have our install pieces, and then we have the actual component itself, and of course the instruction manual. Thank you for being a Luxe Bidet customer. All right, let's get this stuff out of the box or out of the bags real quick. Okay, so we actually have the bidet mechanism here with these two pieces here. These are basically what slide in to where the seat is actually attached. The nice thing is you don't even actually have to fully remove the seat to attach this. You just have to loosen the long bolts typically for the seat. Now they do have, if you look on here, they do have these, I guess, covers, I guess. They're little shims. And let me see if I can pull this out. There we go. So we have these different shims, and they have different sized shims. So there's a, those look about the same as the ones that are on it, and then there's a much thicker style as well. I'm going to use the ones that came stock on it to go and see if that works. And it appears as though, depending on the seat that you have, you may have to change out those shims, or if there's maybe a specific seat. Then we actually have a new water line, or I should say an additional water line that's going to go from this mechanism to the T that you're going to have to install. So essentially you have to take off the existing water line off from the toilet, put this on the toilet, then bring that hose to the bottom here, and then this little guy is what goes to the seat. Every bidet seat's about the same, or a bidet that I've ever done that is an aftermarket bidet. Comes with this same T mechanism. Works good. Now the nice thing is they do give you this wrench. It is a little plastic wrench, but it's going to make it a lot easier to install these guys because you don't have to get your own wrench out, and it's ready to go. So that is that. And the other thing I didn't notice, at least on the one side, oh, it'll work on both sides. This little T handle actually is built to go on that one, and then bring it down here, and it'll go on this side too. See, that's handy. Something as simple as that. So this is going to be more or less for the one I already have in place, for the toilet's existing one. But there we go. It is there, and if this little mechanism isn't getting it tight enough, then you do have this to do it. We do also have some pipe threading. There we go. So just some Teflon tape. So you may want to throw some on here if you need to. I guess we can do that right now rather than wait. Just put a little bit of Teflon tape on these threads. I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever had to do it for installations of seats, because usually the hoses have a really good rubber seal in them. But it is never a bad idea, I guess, to have some Teflon tape on here. It just adds to the water resistance, I guess. The big thing is you're not going to really, it doesn't really matter actually. We should be good to go. So all right, we got that on. I don't have to bring that with us. Let's go to my bathroom. Let's get this installed. Now I actually already have a toilet with a standard seat on it. I took my existing bidet off to give this one a full go. Now step one is going to be turning off the water supply, which I've already done. So you just follow your water supply behind the toilet, turn that off. We are going to have to remove this water line, and then I usually keep a rag underneath. You'll get a little bit of water. It won't release the tank. It's just because that goes all the way to the very top of the tank to put water in. So we won't do that, but you will get a little bit out of the hose. So yeah, guess you could grab that wrench. Sorry. All right. And, oh, yep, just a little bit of water. All right. So like I said, this guy's going to go on here, and we're going to force that to go more forward than back. All right, and then our existing is going to go on here. I'm not going to tighten it with a wrench because it might take two hands to hold this in place, but you get the gist. So that's what that's going to look like. Now that's going to shoot off for our seat. So last but not least, the seat guy here. Handy to have these little guys. That's for darn sure. All right, now I'm going to have to tighten that whole thing up again before I turn the water on. Now, depending on your toilet seat, in my case, I have these little plastic covers back here. You may need a flat screwdriver, and I just have to pop that off. Most, not all toilet seats have this, but they're all going to be slightly different. All right, so they just have little covers here that open up, and it is a slotted screwdriver, but then the back, and I'm just going to loosen this up. I don't know how loose I need to go, but I gotta go not that loose because it literally came apart. Okay, so now, nice and loose for this to go on. And I'm hoping that those are long enough. Well, I found that the screw that actually came with this specific seat, lovely gross stuff, not long enough. So I actually went to the hardware store, bought some new ones. Now, of course, they don't have washer heads like this one did. Boy, sorry there. So I got these new guys with some washers for them. Same quarter 20 threading that this smaller screw was. But that should fix my issue that I was having with trying to get the seat in there. Okay, so I got the new bolts in place. Now, hopefully, it should allow itself to slide in there. Definitely slides in there now. All right, so that's much better than it was. So I'm gonna let it sit there like that and get the seat where I want it. Make sure that's in there straight. And crank this sucker down, I guess. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll get it tight enough for now. Just a little snug that I can still move it. This looks straight now. So I think I'm gonna go with that and just tighten it down. So we are good and straight back there. Seat is nice and straight. I did tighten everything down. And as you can see, this looks here. Now the nice thing is, this has a real easy cleaning feature. So you can actually lift this up. And that way, you know, if you have to clean any part of it, real quick and easy to get into any of that. So yeah, there's that. Now I just have to get the water line attached back here. So that's the other end of this guy. We're going to attach to the back side of this. And I'm going to do this one off camera because it's going to be really hard otherwise. Now the big thing about this one's plastic threading, so you want to make sure that you are threading it on and not cross-threading it. So it should go on fairly easy and then get tight there at the end. All right. I feel pretty good about that. All right, let's see. Wow. I think I got this one with no leaks the first time. That rarely ever happens. I am going to monitor it, which means I have this wiped down, and I'm going to check it in a little bit, but so far it looks good. So you can see that's what it looks like back there. Now we'll give her a try. Okay, so we have this water flow, which goes good. Feminine and nozzle clean. So we have a nozzle clean and okay, I get it. So there are feminine, wash, nozzle clean settings. That's what these three say. So feminine wash would be a further forward wash. Let's try that. And then we have over on the other side, nozzle clean, which cleans off the nozzles. So, you know, especially before you use it, it's probably something that's best to do. Or if you're going to go from a rear wash to a feminine wash, you probably want to make sure you clean the nozzles. But on a standard wash, we do have basically this knob here that just intensifies how much water we're going to use. So if we just turn it on, looks like we can dial it down if you don't want it too crazy. See where the sweet spot is here. So it's, I just need a little bit of a rinse to, I've got peanut butter. It's pretty simple, right? There's no dryer mechanism. It's just clean. And it's just about saving you toilet paper, if nothing else, and being better in a lot of ways, but also, to be honest, just making yourself cleaner. That's the biggest item. She definitely moves. Now, obviously, if you find that it's pointing off to one side over the other, that's when you want to loosen up the bolts on your seat and adjust this mechanism this way or that way to get that point right where you want it. And then either way, how I've always found it is when you're using a bidet, once it's actually spraying, I move myself around to try to get more of my area clean. So yeah. I love the fact that you can fully adjust it real quick and easy, and you're not relying on any electronic gadgets. I love that. So that is the install, or I should say unboxing and install of the Luxe Bidet Neo 185. Installation-wise, really easy, especially you don't even have to remove your seat. However, I did find that I had to get longer bolts for my seat. Not to say that every seat's going to be like that, because the seat that I had upstairs at one point had much longer bolts than the one I had down here. But I couldn't find the bolts for my seat that I removed when I put my first bidet on. That said, that negates the point. Real quick and easy, quick jump to the hardware store. Got me what I needed. Didn't take more than a few minutes. But that said, installation-wise, really easy. I love the fact that they give you this wrench. This makes setup real easy, and they didn't have to do it now in reality for what they gave me. I do like the fact that they give you these different shims depending on, you know, the seat height. So if you find that the gap on your seat or whatever is different, they do have these different shims. So there is that. They even give you a Teflon tape. They don't really need to do this either, because you don't need to have this with most of those hoses, because those hoses have a really good rubber gasket on it. If you want to do it right, this is the right way to do it, right? And I do appreciate that they give it to you. So, and it's not going to cost them barely anything to give you the little thing of Teflon tape. Handy. A lot of great things to say. Now, this is not a review, so I'm not fully reviewing this. I have not used it really. The thing that I'm the most skeptical on more than anything is the fact that I've been using bidet seats for a while. All have heated water and drying. Drying is not a big thing. I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. If there's one thing that I'm okay with a bidet seat not having, it would be drying. It's not a necessity. But you are going to probably be using a little bit of toilet paper to dry yourself up down there so that you're not putting your underwear on while you're still wet. That said, it will increase or I should say decrease the amount of time you're going to be on the seat. Second, water pressure. Wow, that's awesome. I think that's going to be fantastic. The downside is it's going to be whatever water temperature is coming out of my city lines at that time. So during the winter and right now in the early spring, it's going to be cold. And of course, during the winter, when you don't want it to be cold, it's still going to be cold. Now, I will say that it's still going to clean better than toilet paper, 100%, no doubt. But I would argue that warmer water is probably a little bit, cleaning's a little bit more, and it's more comfortable. Nothing against it for the price that this comes in at. This specific kit, and of course they have various kits available. This specific one, the Neo 185, I think is going for 56 bucks. So it's got the really nice controls for witch jet, feminine, rear wash, as well as nozzle clean. I would argue that if I was to buy any bidet seat from here on out, bidet seat, bidet anything, the nozzle clean is a 100% absolute function that I would not buy it without. So that this has that, I really do like that. And of course, the easy of turn it on and spray to the high heavens is really easy. So review coming on my Tech Goose channel. I will post that here in the description when I post it, as well as at the end of this video, I will have a link to it. So you can, by all means, check out the full review. This is just the unboxing and setup of it. So thank you, Luxe Bidet, for allowing me to do this setup video. I'm very impressed by it so far. And of course, as I get to use it, I'll find out how impressed I actually am. So, thank you for watching to the end of this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe for me. Let me know what you think. If you have a bidet seat, let everybody know what you think of bidet seats in general, if nothing else, because I think bidets are fantastic. I've been using them since 2020, and I will never go back. So, thank you for watching to the end of this video. We'll catch you again here on GeekSmart for another future video install. We'll see you soon.